Lan Wangji was utterly perplexed. What exactly had he done wrong? Lan Wangji recalled the times when Wei Wuxian fed him. Wei Wuxian's eyes would be filled with tender affection, the corners of his eyes forming a bright, tempting hook. Even before he had a chance to taste the grape, his soul had already been ensnared. It seemed as if the flavor of the grape itself changed, becoming sweet and juicy, yet leaving him even thirstier, inadvertently making him crave something even sweeter. So, it's the smile and the captivating gaze. Lan Wangji took a deep breath. He lifted one corner of his mouth while simultaneously widening his eyes. Wei Wuxian's arm was gently nudged, and he turned back in confusion, nearly stumbling backward. Lan Zhan? Are you all right? It's late at night. Don't scare me. Lan Wangji silently lowered his head. Lan Zhan, please don't be upset. I wasn't saying I wouldn't eat it. These grapes are quite delicious, really. Now, Wei Wuxian didn't even dare to continue his homework. He quickly straightened his neck and seriously accepted being fed. In no time, the entire bunch of grapes was stripped bare. Lan Wangji meticulously fed him, and he meticulously ate. With each bite Lan Wangji brought him, there was a subtle, almost imperceptible hint of anticipation in his eyes. Wei Wuxian was utterly baffled, wondering what was going on with Lan Zhan today. Could it be that the two little bunnies were being picky and refused to eat what he offered, so Lan Zhan came here seeking the feeling of feeding someone? As the plate of green grapes was emptied, Wei Wuxian slowly exhaled, thinking, finally, it's over. He rubbed his belly, sloshing with juice, and had just let out a contented burp when he saw Lan Wangji bring over a plate of red grapes. He quietly shifted his body and lay down on the desk, pretending not to see it. Just as he picked up his pen, Lan Wangji's slender fingers, holding a plump, juicy grape, brushed against his cheek. The month of their grand wedding had passed, and the large red candles in the silence room were replaced by the usual simple, unadorned small white candles. The candlelight flickered, casting a soft glow on Wei Wuxian's skin, making it appear especially smooth and fair. His brows were lazily relaxed, and the tip of his pen barely touched the paper, leaving a few ink spots. His lips, moist and glistening from eating, slightly puckered, stained crimson by the grape juice. With his jet-black hair like ink and his cheeks as white as jade, his red lips stood out even more, looking both captivating and alluring. Lan Wangji, momentarily distracted, felt a slight heat in his throat. His fingers lingered over the jade-green fruit platter for a moment. With a slight turn of his knuckles and a soft pop, he picked a grape and raised his hand to feed it to him. The plump grape flesh intentionally pressed lightly against Wei Wuxian's lips, causing his soft lip to dent slightly before springing back. Lan Wangji's fingertips brushed over the slightly moist lips as he directly pushed the grape into Wei Wuxian's mouth. Wei Wuxian's eyes half closed, his eyelashes gently drooping, seemingly a bit sleepy. He absent-mindedly accepted the grape. However, those two fingers did not retreat. Lightly sucked by Wei Wuxian's lips, they trembled slightly at the knuckles, paused for a moment, and lingered reluctantly. As they withdrew, his fingertips delicately brushed against a moist patch, making contact with the lightly fluttering red tip of the tongue. As Wei Wuxian chewed, his head nodded forward, bumping against the pen, jolting him awake. The jade plate gradually emptied, and Lan Wangji got up to tidy, his footsteps intermittently echoing beside him. Wei Wuxian turned a page of the Collection of Elegance, rubbed his eyes, and lowered his head in writing a long passage. When Lan Wangji returned, his hands finally no longer held any new grapes, and Wei Wuxian silently let out a sigh of relief, wondering how eating had made him so sleepy. Just as he was about to dip his pen in ink, two arms suddenly wrapped around his waist. A warm chest pressed against his back, and through the fabric came an irregular heartbeat. Lan Wangji's deep voice resonated, brushing against the most delicate skin on Wei Wuxian's neck. Wei Ying, Wei Wuxian's eyelids twitched, his hands and feet flailing helplessly. Thinking that the time had come for this human-shaped clock to urge him to bed, internally he felt not a hint of emotion. I haven't finished my work yet. Upon hearing this, the arms around his waist seemed to tighten slightly. Homework. You can finish it tomorrow. Wei Wuxian turned his head, noticing that Lan Wangji's expression was somewhat strange. He lightly tapped the tip of Lan Wangji's nose with his pen. "What? Are you still not letting me do my homework?" The roles were reversed. Now it was second young Master Lan harassing the seriously studying Wei Wuxian. Lan Wangji hesitated for a moment, then slightly sat up and pulled a sheet from the stack of papers on the desk. Lowering his eyes, he said, "You, copy mine." Wei Wuxian's eyes widened as if witnessing a rare spectacle. "Lan Zhan? You? Are you telling me to copy your homework?" Lan Wangji lowered his head again. Wei Wuxian clutched his stomach, rolling into a ball in Lan Wangji's arms. "You've gone bad, little old-fashioned. Let's clarify this. It's definitely not me forcing you. I've been very well behaved lately, maintaining a perfect record. I don't want to ruin that. Moreover, I am under close supervision. Copying your homework would be spotted immediately. It won't work. I can't do it." Wei Wuxian twisted his body and lifted his head, his fingers lightly scratching Lan Wangji's chin before he continued his work. The person behind him was silent for a moment and then asked, "Are you still angry with me?" Wei Wuxian's pen halted, feeling somewhat puzzled. He looked carefully at Lan Wangji's face and finally understood what he was getting at. The cabbage hadn't been teased by the pig for days, and now it was lonely enough. Wei Wuxian's stomach nearly burst with laughter. It was rare for Lan Wangji to take the initiative, making Wei Wuxian feel both pity and fondness for him. Wei Wuxian felt that he couldn't be too mischievous, so he held back his laughter and said, "No, why would I be angry with you? If I were really angry, would I have come back with you?" Lan Wangji forcefully turned him around. "Really not angry?" Wei Wuxian wrapped his arms around his neck and planted a kiss on his lips. "Really not angry? Haven't I been trying to behave well lately? Abiding by the family rules every day so that old man Lan can't find any faults and punish you. When you knelt for those 7 days and nights, even if your knees didn't hurt, my heart did." Lan Wangji opened his mouth, just about to say something, but Wei Wuxian gently pressed a finger against his lips. "Second young Master Lan, I've made up my mind to cultivate myself and properly follow your family's rules. Don't tempt me to break my resolve. My willpower is very weak. If you truly want to help, you should also adhere to the rules. Otherwise, I'll go complain to Mr. Lan." Wei Wuxian threw himself into his tasks with overwhelming dedication, becoming a relentless work machine. Every night after bathing, he would disappear for half an hour and then return to the room, carrying the cool night air, and thrown himself onto the bed, falling asleep immediately. Lan Wangji asked him where he had been, and he simply replied that he was tired from doing homework and just wandered around outside. During the day, Wei Wuxian seemed to have even more energy than before. The swordsmanship classes witnessed his breathtaking progress time and again, to the point that even Lan Qiren couldn't withhold a genuine word of praise. When attending lectures, he uncharacteristically remained quiet. Whether he was truly paying attention or just pretending, at least he struck a perfect balance between movement and stillness. In contrast, Lan Wangji, sitting beside him, often gazed absent-mindedly at his partner, causing the teacher to frown repeatedly and nearly send him to the ancestral hall for punishment. At night, Wei Wuxian's energy abruptly dissipated. After returning from outside, he was thoroughly exhausted and no longer pestered Lan Wangji. Initially, Wei Wuxian said he wanted to adhere to family rules. Though Lan Wangji felt reluctant, he respected Wei Wuxian's decision and no longer held him or asked for anything. At night, they slept with their clothes on. At first, Wei Wuxian deliberately kept a bit of distance from him, fearing that close contact might ignite the flames of desire again. However, over time, Wei Wuxian's arms and legs ended up draped over Lan Wangji, treating him like a large pillow. Even when he rolled right into Lan Wangji, he did not have intention to do something. In the past, when he held Lan Wangji, his hands would uncontrollably pinch and touch him here and there. Now, not only was he indifferent, but he even found Lan Wangji's body too hard and uncomfortable to touch. He insisted on throwing a clump of blankets over Lan Wangji, wrapping him into a soft, fluffy cotton candy. before he would be willing to lean against him.